We're now at a point where any amount of help that we can get will be well received, which is why I've got good news as there are 2 states that are expecting $1,000 stimulus checks. Now, I also got a huge update about the train derailment in East Palestine, and you guys are not going to believe what happened to the people from the CDC who checked on the area initially. So here's a clue. Remember when the government officials and representatives from Norfolk Southern said that the air and the drinking water was safe there? Yeah. Probably not the best statement to have put out. The World Health Organization, also known as the WHO, and their experts have just revised their C-19 vaccination recommendations. Wait, what? That's right, you guys. They're now excluding a certain age group from being a priority of getting jabbed. Man, they're really flipping sides like pancakes, right? Now, the battle in the Ukraine may be down to what happens in Bakhmut. And if I'm going to be honest with you guys, it's not looking good for them. It's also not looking good for the Biden family, as email exchanges have shown how they use their family name to receive millions of dollars from foreign countries, one of those countries being China. So here's a very important question. Do you guys think that President Joe Biden may be compromised by the CCP? Just comment a quick yes or no on that one. I'd love to know where you guys stand on that. Now, before I continue, please take a second and smash the like button for the video. It absolutely helps the channel out and drives the YouTube algorithm. And if you guys are new here and you're in need of your daily dose of the truth when it comes to global happenings, the state of our economy, social security, the stock market, the housing market, and everything that they're doing in Washington, D.C. that affects us, make sure to subscribe to the channel. And for the very best way to invest in silver or gold, hit the link in the description down below of this video. Now, the federal government has not sent financial aid since March of 2021. Now, although some states are doing their best to try to ease the pain of the economy and the inflation that we're dealing with, inflation is still running wild on our wallets. Now, we're talking about 2 states that are sending a form of a stimulus check, starting with Alaska and their permanent fund dividend program that shares their investment income from oil revenues to state recipients, or I should say state residents. This has been done for the last 41 years, and the payout for approved applicants will be somewhere in the ballpark of $3,284, which includes a $662 energy relief benefit. Yeah, but not to be outdone, the Anchor Property Tax Relief Program in New Jersey will provide monetary assistance as well for applicants who have owned or rented their residence, their primary residence, in that location since October 19, 2019. And so these same people should also file or be exempt from the New Jersey state income taxes. Now, another requirement would also be annual income for homeowners. Those who make up to $150,000 will get $1,500. And if you make between $150,000 and $250,000 per year, expect to receive $1,000. Those who are staying in rental properties who make up to $150,000 will receive $450. And so these amounts are not subject to federal or even state income taxes. And those who applied until February 28th, they should receive a check or direct deposit through May. So definitely check your mailboxes and watch out for those. Now, on that note, the CDC should have also been watching out for the people back when they investigated this East Palestine derailment situation. Here, check this out.
And also breaking out of East Palestine, the CDC has confirmed that 7 of its government investigators briefly fell ill while studying the possible health impacts from that derailment. Their symptoms included a sore throat, headaches, coughing, and nausea, which is consistent with what many residents there experienced.
You know what I find really weird about this update? They tried to tell us that everything was all right back in February, but they failed to admit that their team had also suffered the same symptoms as the residents. So why did it take them so long to tell us about this? Well, they had an answer ready for my question, and it's because their symptoms improved soon after they left the area. Wow. So they didn't think it would be necessary to share this information with us since they got well right after leaving East Palestine? Yeah. Now, I'm not sure how that's good for the people who live there dealing with that stuff every single day. How about the kids? How about the elderly folks? What do you guys think? Do you think that the people who live there deserve to know this information? Or was it right for them to not disclose it? Now, it would really have flipped the script if people knew about this sooner. And speaking of flipping the script, the World Health Organization, also known as the WHO, has just done that by going against the initial stance on vaccines for healthy kids and teenagers. What's the revision, you ask? Oh yeah, they're now saying that these kids may not need to get a shot. I mean, come on guys, make up your minds, please. Anyway, this was according to their strategic advisory group of experts on immunization, otherwise known as the SAGE. That's quite an ironic name, huh? This new recommendation covers healthy kids that are 6 months to 17 years old. Any reaction to that, guys? What do y'all think about this? Now let's talk a little bit about what's happening over in Ukraine, as their troops will have to drive Soviet tanks that are older than many of the soldiers that are going to drive or crew them.
After months of campaigning, Ukraine has finally received Western battle tanks from Germany and the UK. They're expected to beef up its armored firepower for a potential offensive in the spring. Now, before the long-awaited vehicles arrived, Ukraine had to rely on Soviet-made tanks.
The Soviet-era T-80 takes 3 men to operate. At 40 tons and driven at speeds of up to 80 kilometers an hour, Gunner Vasil says the tanks scare the enemy. But the tanks need a lot of attention. This one is more than a decade older than the mechanic Ihor is, and it shows.
If the tank is on really uneven ground, it's often this part of the tracks that breaks and needs to be replaced. Every now and again, we also have to tighten the tracks.
These tanks may be old and worn down, but they're easy to repair if the men can get the spare parts.
It's also coming out that they may have suffered losses that is 3 or even 4 times more compared to Russia's. The battle for Bakhmut continues to carry on, and even though they've been told to regroup, Ukrainian President Vladimir Zelensky looks to be insisting that a continued attack is necessary despite the losses, and he may have also hoped that this in turn would convince the United States of putting boots on the ground. Something we know is mostly wishful thinking. Do you think we need to be sending our United States American men and women over to the Ukraine to actually fight with the Ukrainians? I'm not a big fan of that personally. Now, what worries him more is that the new polling data is showing that Americans are now getting tired of supporting their country and their war, something that they can't afford to happen, because that means goodbye to millions and billions of dollars, right? Now, since we're already talking about money, let's discuss the email exchanges that included first son Hunter Biden, Valerie Biden Owens, or the president's sister, 2 of his nieces, and various business associates that talked about how they could make money off of the then VP's academic ventures by having a family member or the Biden Foundation sign a MOU or a memorandum of understanding on behalf of Vice President Biden at the time. Within the next weeks and months after the Biden Institute at the University of Delaware was opened, UD, they received foreign cash donations that totaled more than $33 million. Now, of that amount, it's been confirmed that $6.7 million came from China. Now, it's also come to my knowledge that the $3 million that was provided by a China military-linked CEFC energy company to a Biden associate was then provided to President Biden's family members that included Hunter Biden, James Biden, Holly Biden, and a mystery individual who was only identified as Biden. The emails also show that they were given this incentive as a way to broker access to Joe Biden, who was the VP at the time. Man, it's just really hard to put into words how I feel about this because, we're not going to see this on mainstream media as much. But let me ask you, do you feel as if President Biden is compromised by the Chinese government? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Now, even with everything that's going on, it's very hard to forget that we have a lot of problems here. From the pressure of inflation, credit card bills, car payments, rent, the flood of financial troubles, it just keeps coming. Not to mention the value of the US dollar. By the way, for the best way to invest in gold or silver, hit the link in the description down below this video. Now, it would be nice to have a nice yacht right now, but most of us, we're just working with wooden boats. To gain access to a better vehicle for this economic turmoil, you gotta work at it. You need to be willing to sacrifice. Now, if you wanna learn more about creating multiple streams of income through side hustles, small businesses, you guys can feel free to leave me a comment down below. We can also talk about investments, be it in the stock market, real estate, or even in precious metals like gold, silver, and even platinum. But I would need you guys to take the first step. Feel free to drop me a comment down below and let me know if you want me to cover these topics more. Now, before I go, guys, please don't forget to drop a thumbs up and subscribe for your daily dose of the truth. Appreciate you guys watching. Please be kind to one another, and I'll see you on the next one.